In today's video, I'm going to share some proven tips for making your meetings way more effective so that you don't leave thinking that could have really been an email. Hey folks, my name is Kevin and I'm not an expert. I don't know anything and I would suggest you ignore everything you're about to hear. And in today's video, we're going to talk about meeting effectiveness. So let me share some tips with you. Let's get right into it. So my first tip is to establish a clear goal for the meeting. Now this is where you define the outcomes. Every meeting should have a purpose. Every meeting should be delivering some specific thing to you, to a teammate, to a stakeholder, to the business, whatever it is. The meeting's purpose is to deliver that value. If it's just a discussion, it really should just be an email or live in your chat-based system. If there's really no way to tell what the outcome of a meeting is, then probably revisit the agenda and think twice about getting together and spending all that money and time on that group of people. So my second tip today is focus on building a minimum viable attendance list for your meeting. So many meetings are full of so many people and there's like so many reasons to get together, like we all need to hear this, we all need to be there, but ultimately like the more people you have in a room, the more voices are going to be there, and sometimes that adds a lot of clutter to the decision-making process. So really try to hone in on who are the decision makers that need to be here and who are the people that really need first level information. Everybody else lives on kind of this outer circle of they can get the meeting minutes or they can ask questions or they can see the follow-up in some sort of chat and they'll be good to go. They don't need to be in the meeting. They can be a lot more productive elsewhere. Meetings are inherently unproductive. Like when you're in a meeting, you're not usually doing any work. So the more that you can have your resources and your people and your teammates and your stakeholders outside of that room getting things done and have the minimum group in there, the faster it's going to be. Not only that, it's going to make you so much more efficient with decision making because you don't have to listen to so many darn opinions. That doesn't excuse you from doing your due diligence of gathering all the perspectives that you need to make a quality decision or to work through a problem, but it does help hone in on making that a more focused group and not a wide, broad stroke of the brush. Coming in at number 3, build a crystal clear agenda and follow up before the meeting. Ideally, everybody comes into a meeting prepared. I know that's not real world, but like ideally they do, because if everybody comes prepared, you don't have to spend time explaining why you're together, telling the backstory of the problem. A good agenda will cover these items as well. So in your agenda, make sure you include a little bit of background as to why we're meeting, and then very clearly define those outcomes that we did in step 1. What are we trying to accomplish? What are the outcomes of this group? If you're the meeting organizer, I recommend following up with everybody a day before the meeting to remind them that, hey, we're getting together. If you need to get anything together or you need to prepare any items, this is a good time to do so. That way you just kind of respectfully nudge them so that everybody can come prepared. You can kind of hit the ground running right when you get in the room. My fourth tip is to try to keep the group on track with the beautiful agenda that you so carefully curated in the previous step. You spend so much time trying to figure out why we need to meet, what we need to do and all that, that the last thing you need is a side conversation to go awry. Now here's the thing. A lot of people will get into these side conversations that actually end up being a relevant topic, and they'll say something like, hey, let's take this offline. But you know what? If you have the right people in the room, taking it offline is actually, in my opinion, the wrong move. You know, work through the issue, get to the bottom of the problem. We're here to solve something. Let's do it here while it's way more effective and efficient and we're already spending the time. One more tip about focusing on your agenda is it's a good investment, like for training, to work on that soft skill of meeting facilitation. Even if you have teammates that aren't ever going to really facilitate a meeting, it's valuable training because you'll learn kind of the dynamics and what are the expectations when we're in a meeting to truly solve through and work through a problem. A lot of our meetings are so pointless because so many people start talking about things that like 50% of the room doesn't care about or know anything about anyways and can't even contribute a valuable founded opinion on. And this can change if we are really good at staying on track and we're really good at keeping the audience of the meeting to the right size group. Hey, if you're getting any value out of this is a good time to like the video. If you want to subscribe, I'm okay with that. But let's move on to number 5. The next point is quite upsetting. I just want to warn you. But the next point is this. Start your meeting on time, no matter what. We have so much lenience in some cultures for people who are late to meetings. Oh, let's give it a few more minutes. Oh, maybe we need to wait till Ben shows up. Like, don't wait. Get started. Yes, Ben might miss the first minute of this meeting. He might even miss the first 5 minutes. But I bet there's more people that showed up on time, ready to go, and it's respectful to their time. Not only that, you start to set a precedence over time that when we decide that we're going to meet at a certain time, it starts at this time. I understand that things come up, totally fine. But hey, we're all professionals here. We're all expected to show up on time. Let's hit the ground running right when that meeting time starts. Point number 6 is follow up. Every single item that comes out of the meeting should have a single person assigned to it. A lot of people will say, I'll take this back to the team. No. Assign a single person to these action items. And the reason is this: they don't have to be responsible for actually carrying out the work, but they're accountable to the group, the meeting group, for making sure that it gets done. Now, point number 7 is to achieve every outcome in your agenda. Now, I truly believe in starting on time, but I don't necessarily believe ending at the scheduled time that the meeting is over. And here's why. When you're done, you're done. And sometimes that means you're done quickly. Other times, though, it means you have to work through some problems. Now, I believe in sitting and working through those things and not waiting to follow up and deal with it at a later time. It's truly important. It shouldn't have to wait at all. But like working through that problem and extending your meeting time. I've been in enough meetings where, hey, oh, it's 3 o'clock, I have to go. And it's like, hey, we haven't even gotten to like the third most important item here that we really need you for. And getting this group of like 6 or 7 people together is actually a pretty complicated event. I would prefer if we could maybe protect that time and stay there. I do believe in being concise. Like, don't schedule obnoxiously long meetings, but sit there and dedicate yourself to solving the problems and delivering the outcomes that you promised to the group and to yourself when you put the meeting together. My last point is to summarize understanding. Now, you and I could both be listening to the same conversation and interpret it completely different ways. This is no different in a meeting. Think about this. You've got people around the table. Everybody's spewing their opinion. Everybody's talking through the problem. You've got a lot of brainstorming going on. On top of that, you are thinking through different things to say in response. So you might not catch 100% of what's coming through. And if you're remote, you might be missing a lot of the body language that's really important to providing like the Rosetta Stone to what someone really means. Which means it's really important to try to round out our perspective of how a specific conversation went. If you have a clear agenda, this is actually relatively simple. Going through the agenda, go around the table to every meeting participant and ask, hey, what's your takeaway? Hey, do you have any questions? Hey, is anything confusing? Because that kind of shores up those gaps in real time so that you don't leave thinking 2 different things and potentially have a little bit of a miscommunication and misalignment despite the fact that you spent all that time in a meeting together. So the point is to clear the air and make sure that everyone means the same thing that they're saying. Leave me a comment below with your top meeting tips and I'll see you in the next video.